So before we get to the handshake, we've seen some news from Jada Pinkett Smith saying that they've been divorced, I don't know, since 2016. And isn't this couple the most disgusting couple in the history of entertainment? I wish they would just keep us out of their personal lives like nobody else is interested. It used to be good fodder for mainstream media back in the days when such gossip was prevalent, about divorces and everything. But now Jada and Will have become so disgusting. I've seen somebody doing a TikTok telling them to please leave us out of the group chat. We don't need to know what's happening in your marital affairs, man. There is a way that even in the US, the mainstream media establishment, they also have their own distraction mechanisms, just like in Kenya. But at least there, they are not battling with things like poverty, water, disease, bad roads, bad infrastructure, a poor economic climate. At least them, they have the bare minimum to make them survive. But here, we are distracted, and yet we have more serious issues to discuss. Like now, this whole Israeli-Palestine, can we call it war? It has been a perfect distraction, and we have seen the manifestation of religious degenerates, depending on which side the extremism. But however, now that the pro-Uhuru sentiment has started escalating, and you have to credit Uhuru's propagandists. They've been unrelenting. Every day, like I'm in a WhatsApp group, and Uhuru Kenyatta degenerates. Every day they must plug in his name. Every day, based on if you post something, and then they'll be there. Uhuru warned people of Mount Kenya. Mount Kenya people, they didn't listen to their son. They always have to plug in, and especially now us Mount Kenya people, we are the ones bearing the emotional baggage. We are the ones being taunted every other day for somebody who, when it's convenient, he now reverts. He's now a son of Mount Kenya. But when he's eating, now he's eating with cartels. Remember, in Kenya, there are only two tribes, the haves and the have-nots. Now this handshake and the realignment of the political establishment will show you that there are only two tribes in Kenya. And when they are eating, like now, don't forget, as we are so focused, as we are so brainwashed with the political wars at the top, don't forget your MCAs are still stealing, your MPs are stealing your CDF, your governors are looting with reckless abandon. And so as you're focused with now the handshake that is loading and every other shenanigans, don't forget that down here, that's where all the corruption is happening, and that's corruption that directly affects you. Yeah. So you when you buy the newspaper, you sift through the front pages. You're just seeing, first of all, is always a Raila, Ruto, Uhuru, Nani, and then it's interchanging every other day. It's never about your interests. And now they are able to capture your imagination. They are able to distract your collective attention, and all you're just obsessing about is up there, as if that guy who is up there will change your life. They will never change your life. So you have to revert to now taking a keen interest. And now our civic education, the people who have been tasked with civic education, they are embezzling the money, like the IEBC, the corrupt IEBC, which is supposed to be disbanded. They are embezzling money meant for civic education. I was shocked. Somebody pointed and drew my attention to the fact that television, the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit, PBU, has not been beaming for the last 3 months. They've just been putting a static image saying that it's frozen. And PBU has been funded by taxpayers' money. Why is PBU not airing publicly? We need to know from the speakers of the Parliament and Senate, why is PBU? Because we need to audit the performance of the useless MPs, especially. We need to audit their performance. We need to see their contribution. These are people who just rubber stamp anything that is brought to the judiciary, to the legislature. They just rubber stamp it. You saw they passed the privatization bill so that our assets, our parastatals can be mortgaged, can be sold for a song. You saw them, these members of parliament, their parliamentary contribution is negligible, is deplorable. So we need to know why Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit PBU has not been functioning for the last 3 months. This is funded by taxpayers' money. We have the television, which is also funded by taxpayers, the KBC. So why aren't you airing? We need to see that every day. We need to see the performance of the MPs in Parliament. Yeah. And as we were talking about Uhuru and the Israel-Palestine war, so there is a trade agreement which Uhuru signed with America in May 2020 when we were locked down. It's titled United States-Kenya Negotiations Summary of Specific Negotiating Objects. Now, when you go to this document, which you can find on my Telegram channel, you can download it from my Telegram channel at Francis Gaido. In the last section of page 15, with respect to commercial partnerships, number 1, discourage actions that directly or indirectly prejudice or otherwise discourage commercial activity solely between the United States and Israel. Number 2, discourage politically motivated actions to boycott, divest from, and sanction Israel. Number 3, seek elimination of politically motivated non-tariff barriers on Israeli goods and services or other commerce imposed on Israel. And finally, seek the elimination of state-sponsored and sanctioned foreign boycotts of Israel or compliance with Arab League boycott of Israel. You see, it is a United States-Kenya trade agreement, but you can see who is benefiting. And this is the guy now. You guys are saying, hey, he's our son of Mount Kenya. This is the guy now. And we can, and now people are saying that now he's going to come and start giving Thanksgiving ceremonies from November. With Thanksgiving for what? Because we gave him 10 years and the guy has not delivered. What did he do? What did he achieve? He closed the companies of the people of Mount Kenya. You remember how he went on a vindictive charade against people like Humphrey Karaoke, shutting down their businesses and whatnot. He killed the agriculture sector in Mount Kenya region. Mount Kenya people are the majority who are suffering in the Middle East. They were sent by Moses Kuria and during the Uhuru era. They were sent to the Middle East now to work menial jobs while the human resource is being appropriated from Mount Kenya. And this guy thinks that he's God's gift to humanity. He's the next best thing after sliced bread. That now he's going to come and for Thanksgiving ceremonies as if we are dying to see him, as if we were not doing anything else. He seems to imagine that the world revolves around him. I wish Uhuru should stop funding propagandists, allow us to be happy, because he is happy. He has stolen a lot of money. I mean, the amount of debt that is now being, we are selling parastatals. You see, I told you this is a corruption relay. They have a button. So Uhuru, there is debt accumulated and we cannot see the debt. We cannot see the projects which have been appropriated, which have been funded by this money. So Uhuru has the debt, and then he passes the baton to Ruto, and then Ruto continues from there. It's a corruption relay race. They are always mindful. These thugs, they are always mindful to leave space, to leave some goodies for the incoming despots. So Uhuru left debt, and now these other guys will come to sell the parastatals to offset debt. Debt that nobody knows where it went. We have already seen a forensic audit saying that we have overpaid our debt, but we are still being pushed by sentiment, by media. You saw Business Daily pushing that agenda. Let's sell parastatals. And now there are signs of the handshake. You can see on Standard. You can see there the page. Azimio leader backs Ruto's moves on port. Now once they start reading from the same script, you know the handshake is coming. And then you can see here KRA's Lilian Nyawanda redeployed as border control commissioner. Now this lady had been removed, immediately redeployed to treasury when initially Ruto came in, and now Rigiji and the chairman of KRA, they did not want to see this commissioner, so they kicked them out, and now they've started coming back because there's a handshake. This is now any form of handshake is the first casualty is us as a people, because once they sit down up there and they start discussing amongst themselves, your issues take the back burner, and now they are going to start eating as one family. Now watch it unfold.